Guys, I know you won't believe me when I tell you this, but Google Ads is getting more expensive. I know, shock, right? So what I'm going to look at today is a new report that has just come out that we're going to take a look into to show you how much more expensive Google Ads has become, because it has become massively more expensive in 2024. This data we're going to take a look at is very, very interesting. But above and beyond that data, what we really need to look at is what can advertisers do in 2024 to negate some of these increased costs that we're seeing in Google Ads to make their campaigns more efficient. So I'm going to cover the report with you, but I'm also going to cover what you can do to improve your costs within Google Ads and make your campaigns more efficient. So this data comes from the Digital Ads Benchmark Reports 2024, and Search Engine Land actually looked into this data in more detail as well. So let's go to Search Engine Land's data to kind of understand what is going on here. The first thing I want to highlight is one of the main reasons that Google Ads has become more expensive is because, believe it or not, there are less people using Google to search for things online. Click volume in Google Ads has started to dwindle, and as a result of that, it means the auction becomes much more, I suppose, high intensity and high competition, because if there's less people looking, there's less of a pool of people for businesses to get by. Imagine a situation where you have advertiser 1 who is big with a big budget, they want to get as much as possible, and advertiser 2 has a smaller budget and a very limited amount they can bid on. Now, if the market shrinks in terms of the overall available number of people searching for your products and services, there are less people to actually target with ads, and as a result of that, the auction becomes much more competitive, meaning that smaller business is going to have to pay more to reach the same number of customers because of the stress and the pressure for that smaller market. It becomes a lot more intense. In short, same number of businesses advertising to a smaller number of customers. First big stat of the report is that Google Ads search advertising costs increased 17% year over year. Advertisers are spending 17% more this year, this quarter, than they did in last quarter of 2023. So that jump is significant, but let's go into a bit more detail because there are some other insights in here that are crazy. CPCs increased 13% as well in that period. So you're in a situation where the market's got smaller, things have become more competitive, people are trying to spend more money on Google Ads to get more business, and as a result, CPCs have increased 13% as well. A big jump. But let's step back for a second and understand that 5 years ago, you would have been paying half of what you are now for your traffic. CPCs in the last 5 years have increased 40 to 50%, which is insane. So now we know that the market shrinking is causing click costs to increase. We also need to layer this on top of the fact that we know from Google's recent court case, they often turn the dial up on the floor price of auctions to increase click costs inorganically without the auction process even being a factor. They do that to increase their revenues. So we know they have done this in the past. They probably are going to be much more careful about doing it now. But when we look at the period of time this data takes into consideration, it's not impossible that Google may have done this as well. Of course, I'm speculating, but it's definitely not impossible. It's come out in court that they do this. So overall, it sounds like it's all doom and gloom. But rest assured, I'm going to explain to you what you need to do as an advertiser when taking this into consideration. Here's what you need to do because Google Ads costs are increasing. To get your efficiencies, here's what you do. Well, if you've watched my videos before, you'd understand already that you should be using a smart bidding strategy. And by using a smart bidding strategy focused around a revenue goal, you are going to get more efficient traffic to your website. If you focus on things like manual CPC or target impression share or maximize clicks as your main long-term bidding strategy, you're going to be paying a lot for traffic at the moment. And now traffic's at a premium, you're going to put yourself in a difficult situation where costs are increasing, but you're not finding the efficiencies you need to make your campaigns work. Now, of course, there are exceptions. If you're bidding on a very narrow subset of keywords and a very niche campaign, you can use target impression share to get maximum visibility for a very small niche group of keywords. And I use maximize clicks in the initial stages of a new campaign without any conversion data in order to learn what the traffic quality could be without spending too much on a smart bidding strategy when you're going through that learning process. Then I migrate to a smart bidding strategy like target CPA or maximize conversions with a target ROAS. That is what I would do normally. But parking that aside, it's now really time to focus on the quality of traffic and not the quantity. That's step one. Step two, revisit your offer. Now, when I say this, it's not necessarily something pertinent to Google Ads itself. It's about the market you are in and your business. If your offer is less attractive and not as attractive to users in this current climate where things are much more expensive, you need to make a decision on how you position yourself as a business. Now, it's not a case of a race to the bottom. You don't want to just necessarily start setting your prices really low to get loads of business and become a busy fool who's just about paying the bills by doing twice as much work as you would normally do. No, it's about finding value. Where are your values? What can you offer that's better than your competitors? How do you highlight that in your landing page and your ad as well? Making sure you highlight those points is going to be very important, but it's your positioning as well. Maybe you're a specialist in something that your competitors aren't necessarily that good at. Maybe you have a better area of knowledge in a subject that your competitors don't necessarily have either. You need to look at your offer, look at your price points, look at what you're putting out there, and understand that your offer is going to be incredibly important. Another point to look at is, of course, as I just mentioned, your landing page. You need to work on conversion rate optimization because traffic is at a premium. Therefore, that visit becomes way more valuable than it used to be. As I said, in the last 5 years, click costs have increased 40 to 50%, and it's only going to keep getting more expensive. If you're not getting more conversions from the small amount of traffic you're getting, then you're going to have to optimize the performance of your landing pages. It's going to become incredibly important. There are loads of good guides out there on landing page optimization. If you don't know how to optimize the performance of your landing pages, you need to hire somebody who can, because it's going to get way more important. And my final point is a bit strange for somebody who's a massive advocate for Google Ads and somebody who has spent a long time training people in Google Ads and running campaigns, and that is you need to diversify away from Google Ads as well. It's all well and good going all in on Google Ads, and many businesses I work with and have worked with, they do that very successfully. You can get great results from Google Ads. Of course, why else would you be here if you didn't think you could get good results from Google Ads? But the main thing to remember is that with the market shrinking, the opportunity is not going to grow in line with maybe the size of your sector. Advertisers are pulling back spend as well from Google Ads, and that can be seen in the data as well. There are less people looking, and therefore advertisers are being more squeezed with high CPCs. A lot of advertisers are stepping away and diversifying, and I think you should diversify. If your business is an offer that you can introduce to people that's not needs-based, like for example, if you're a handyman, somebody needs something fixed, or if you're a car service garage, people need a car service, you can't stimulate demand with that kind of market, and you're going to be very much reliant on search. But if you sell something that's a product somebody wants or somebody needs to be introduced to, consider things like Facebook ads and TikTok ads as well, because diversifying away from Google at this stage is very, very much advisable. Now, as I said, this is not to scare people. I don't want people to think Google Ads is no longer effective. I will continue to make videos about Google Ads. I'll continue working with clients on Google Ads, and I still say Google Ads is the #1 place most businesses should start advertising, because it's where the demand is for people looking for your products and services right now. No, what I'm saying is that you have to diversify if you want to scale. As I said, the market size on Google Ads is shrinking. There are less people looking. Therefore, you have to look at your options and diversify as well. But let me know what you think. Are you seeing less people looking on your campaigns? Usually, back in the day, you'd always see that volumes could increase year over year in terms of the impressions your campaign gets. But at the moment, are you seeing your market start to shrink? Are you seeing your CPCs start to increase? Often, on the face of it, without reason. Let me know in the comments below. I reply to pretty much all comments on all of my new videos. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the other content on the channel, and I'll see you guys on my next video.